Ethan's boots sank slightly into the soft red soil as he ran across the battlefield. Smoke curled into the sky from destroyed vehicles and fallen ships, painting the horizon in shades of gray and orange. His squad had been ambushed by an alien force unlike any he had seen before. The creatures moved with terrifying speed, their limbs bending at impossible angles, their glowing eyes tracking every human movement. He fired his plasma rifle again, but one of them was already on him, its claws raking across his chest. Pain exploded through his body, and he fell to the ground, coughing up blood. Everything around him seemed to slow. His squad was either dead or scattered, and the aliens advanced with precision and cruelty. Ethan's vision blurred as darkness crept at the edges of his sight. He tried to call for help, but his voice was barely a whisper. Then he saw her. Vera appeared from the shadows, moving with a grace that was almost liquid, as if she floated over the debris. Her skin was pale, almost luminous, and her eyes glowed a deep violet. She carried herself with confidence and power, yet there was an unreadable sadness in her gaze. She didn't look like any alien he had trained to fight. She was something else, something far older and more dangerous. Vera's eyes fixed on him, and in that moment, Ethan felt a strange calm. He didn't understand it, but he somehow knew she had the power to save him. He tried to move, to reach for her, but his strength failed him. "Stay still," she said, her voice soft yet commanding. Her lips parted, revealing sharp teeth that gleamed in the fading light. "I can fix this. You will live." Ethan's mind struggled to process her words. He had heard legends of the Noctari, a reclusive alien species whose blood could heal any wound and even grant life. Few humans had ever encountered them, and fewer still had survived. But here she was, offering him hope when all seemed lost. Who are you?" Ethan rasped, his voice barely audible. "I am Vera," she replied. "And you, human, are about to be bound to me forever." Before he could protest, she knelt beside him and pressed her lips to a cut on his arm. Pain gave way to relief, and he could feel his wounds knitting together almost instantly. His strength returned, and his heart pounded with a new energy he had never known. What is happening?" he whispered, astonished. "You are alive," Vera said, standing and helping him to his feet. "But you are changed. My blood runs through you now. You will live, but your life will never be the same." Ethan looked at his hands, flexing them experimentally. He felt stronger, faster, and more aware of the world around him. He could hear the faintest sounds of movement and smell the scent of smoke and alien flesh more clearly than ever. His senses had sharpened beyond normal human limits. The aliens were still advancing, but Vera moved with him effortlessly, guiding him through the chaos. He realized she was not just saving him, she was protecting him. Together, they navigated the ruined battlefield, avoiding the deadly patrols and finding cover behind wrecked ships and shattered walls. As they paused to catch their breath, Vera spoke again. "You must understand, human, that my people forbid giving our blood to outsiders. I have broken a sacred law to save you." Ethan's eyes widened. You risked your life for me?" "It was your courage that caught my attention," Vera said. "Even mortals like you can show strength that surprises the Noctari." Ethan felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had always known humans were resilient, but hearing it from someone like her made him feel proud. At the same time, he was terrified of the unknown. His body felt different, his mind sharper, but he didn't know what he had become. They moved silently through the ruins until they reached a collapsed building. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the smell of burning metal. Vera gestured for him to sit. "You need to learn control. The change will come in waves. Your body is strong, but your instincts will fight against you at first." Ethan tried to steady his breathing. "Control? What do you mean?" You will feel desires you have never known, Vera explained. Your body will crave energy, like a hunger. You will need to learn to master it, or it will master you, and you must never lose your humanity, no matter what the blood gives you. Ethan nodded, though he didn't fully understand. He could already feel a shift within him, a tingling energy that pulsed through his veins. It was intoxicating and frightening all at once. As they rested, Vera told him about her people. The Noctari were ancient, almost immortal. They had witnessed civilizations rise and fall, and their knowledge spanned millennia. Yet they were secretive, bound by laws and traditions that few outsiders could comprehend. Vera herself had grown tired of the strict codes, seeking purpose beyond her own people. You saved my life, Ethan said quietly. But why me? I'm just a soldier. I'm not special. You are human, Vera replied, her eyes piercing his. And that makes you remarkable. Humans endure, adapt, and survive in ways that even the strongest Noctari cannot predict. Your courage matters. It always has. Ethan felt a surge of determination. He had always believed in fighting for others, but now he understood the true weight of bravery. It wasn't just about skill or weapons, it was about heart, resilience, and the will to face impossible odds. Suddenly, a distant sound made them both tense. Alien scouts were approaching. Vera stood and placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder. You will need to fight again, human. But now you have more than strength, you have a bond with me, and that bond will guide you. The battle that followed was intense. Ethan moved with speed and precision he had never known, dodging alien attacks and striking with uncanny accuracy. Vera fought beside him, her movements fluid and deadly, her blood humming with power that seemed to amplify his own abilities. Together, they were a force the aliens had not anticipated. After the fight, they stood among the fallen enemies, breathing heavily. Ethan looked at Vera with a mixture of awe and gratitude. I don't know how to thank you, he said. You don't need to. Vera replied, Your life is thanks enough. But you must understand, human, that survival is only the beginning. The real test lies ahead, learning to live with the blood you now carry. Ethan nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. He had been given a second chance, a life that could last centuries. Yet with it came responsibility, danger, and a connection to a being unlike any other. He realized that his journey had only just begun, and that the universe was far more vast and mysterious than he had ever imagined. That night, as they rested in the shadows of the ruined city, Ethan stared at the stars visible through a broken ceiling. The sky seemed endless, filled with possibilities and threats alike. Beside him, Vera watched silently, her eyes reflecting the distant light. They were allies now, bound by blood, trust, and the unspoken understanding that their fates were intertwined. Ethan knew that he would face challenges beyond imagining. But he also knew one thing with certainty. As long as he had Vera by his side, he could face anything. And somewhere deep within him, a human determination burned brighter than ever, ready to prove that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, humanity could shine. As dawn approached, casting pale light over the battlefield, Ethan felt a surge of energy and clarity. He was alive. More alive than ever before. The blood that flowed through him was a gift, a curse, and a responsibility. But he would learn to master it. He would learn to live as something greater than human, and yet, he would never forget what it meant to be human in the first place. Together, they rose to leave the ruined city, ready to face the unknown. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable. But for the first time in his life, Ethan felt truly unstoppable. And as they moved forward, side by side, The bond between human and vampire alien grew stronger. A bond that would shape the fate of worlds, yet unseen. The ruins of the battlefield faded behind Ethan and Vera as they moved toward a hidden canyon she had scouted earlier. The air was cooler here, and the silence of the towering rock walls contrasted sharply with the chaos they had just escaped. Ethan felt every heartbeat, every breath, as though his body had been rewired. His senses were sharper, his mind clearer, yet an unfamiliar hunger tugged at him, a craving he could not yet name. Vera walked beside him, her eyes constantly scanning the surroundings. "You are adapting quickly," she said. "Many humans would have panicked by now, but you are learning control faster than I expected." Ethan flexed his hands and looked at her, a mix of pride and uncertainty in his expression. "It feels strange," he admitted. "I can see things I never noticed before, hear things I never heard. And there's something else. I feel restless, like something inside me is waking up." "That is the blood," Vera explained, her voice calm but serious. "It carries the memories and instincts of my species. It will give you strength, longevity, and power. But it also carries impulses you must master. You will need discipline. If you let it rule you, you will become a danger to yourself and others." Ethan nodded, trying to absorb her words. He had faced death before, but nothing like this. This was not just surviving a battle, it was surviving as something entirely new. Something beyond human. And yet, despite the fear, he felt a thrill. They reached a hidden alcove within the canyon, a natural shelter protected from the wind and prying eyes. Vera gestured for him to sit. "Rest. You will need energy for what comes next." Ethan lowered himself onto the rocky ground, still trying to process everything. "I don't even know what I am anymore," he said quietly. "Am I human? Am I something else?" "You are both," Vera replied. "Your humanity remains, but it is now fused with a power far beyond your species. That is why humans like you are remarkable. Even when faced with impossible odds, you endure, you adapt, you survive. That is what makes you special." Ethan looked at her, feeling a deep respect. Her words were not just comfort, they were truth. He had always thought humans were fragile, weak compared to the aliens he had encountered. Yet here he was, alive, stronger than ever, learning from one of the most powerful beings he had ever seen. As the hours passed, Vera began teaching him how to harness his new abilities. She showed him how to move silently, how to focus his senses without becoming overwhelmed, and how to control the subtle urges that came with the Noctari blood. Ethan struggled at first, but with Vera's guidance, he began to master his instincts. He could run faster, leap higher, and even sense danger before it arrived. "You are improving," Vera said, watching him dodge an imaginary strike with fluid precision. "But remember, power alone is not enough. Humanity is more than strength. It is courage, empathy, and wisdom. That is what will make you a true force in this galaxy." Ethan nodded, feeling the weight of her words. He had survived countless battles before, but now he understood that survival alone was not enough. To protect others, to face the challenges ahead, he needed more than power, he needed heart. Their training was interrupted by a distant rumble, a vibration that made the ground beneath them tremble. Vera's eyes narrowed. "We are not safe here," she said. "The aliens from the battlefield will not forget us. And there is something else my people know. What I have done. They will come for you." Ethan's heart raced. "Your people? Why would they want me?" "Because I gave you my blood," Vera replied. "It is forbidden. The Noctari do not share our life with outsiders. I have broken the law to save you. And now both our worlds will demand answers." Ethan felt a mix of fear and determination. He had survived death once already, and he was not about to give up now. "Then we face them together," he said. "I trust you, and I'm not afraid." Vera's lips curved into a faint smile. "That is the courage I was speaking of. You are truly human, Ethan. Brave, even when faced with impossible odds." As night fell, the first scouts arrived. Ethan and Vera fought together, their movements perfectly synchronized. Ethan's speed and strength had increased dramatically, and Vera's agility and power made them nearly unstoppable. Yet, the battle was not without risk. Ethan felt the pull of the blood within him, a hunger that demanded release. He fought to control it, to focus on the mission rather than succumb to instinct. After the battle, they retreated deeper into the canyon, wounded but alive. Ethan looked at Vera, breathing heavily. "I can feel it," he said. "The blood, it's changing me. I don't know if I can control it forever." "You will learn," Vera said firmly. "Control comes with experience. And you are stronger than most humans because you have heart, courage, and determination. That is why you survived the battlefield, and why you will survive what is coming next." The following days were spent traveling in secret, avoiding both alien patrols and the Noctari emissaries searching for them. During this time, Ethan's bond with Vera grew stronger. He learned about her past, about the losses and betrayals she had endured, and about her desire to break free from the rigid rules of her people. He shared stories of his own struggles, of battles fought and friends lost, and in those moments, they found understanding and trust. One evening, as they rested near a quiet river in the canyon, Vera spoke softly. "Ethan, there will come a time when you must face the leaders of my people. They will demand justice for what I have done. You must be ready to stand, not just as a human, but as someone who carries the blood of the Noctari. Your choices will define not only your life, but the future of our worlds." Ethan listened, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. He had always thought of himself as a soldier, trained to follow orders and fight battles. But this was different. This was about more than survival. It was about bridging the gap between species, about proving that humans could rise above fear and expectation. As they moved forward, they encountered a colony of human survivors threatened by the same alien faction that had ambushed Ethan's squad. Without hesitation, Ethan led the defense, using his new abilities to protect the civilians. Vera fought alongside him, guiding his movements and helping him manage the blood within. Together, they repelled the attackers, demonstrating a level of coordination and skill that even the aliens had not anticipated. After the battle, the humans looked at Ethan with awe. He was no longer just a soldier. He was a hero, a symbol of resilience and courage. And yet, he remained humble, knowing that his strength came not from the blood alone, but from the choices he had made, the trust he had in Vera, and the determination to protect life at all costs. As dawn broke over the canyon, Vera and Ethan stood side by side, watching the survivors rebuild. "You have grown," Vera said quietly. "Stronger, wiser, more human than I ever imagined." Ethan looked at her, a mixture of gratitude and determination in his eyes. "And I will continue to grow," he replied. "Not just for me, but for everyone who depends on us. The blood gave me power, but it is courage and heart that will guide me." Vera nodded, a rare smile crossing her face. For the first time in centuries, she felt hope not just for herself, but for the human she had saved. She had broken the laws of her people, risked everything, and found a companion who could match her in courage and determination. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, bridge the gap between species, and prove that even in a galaxy filled with danger, humanity could shine. The journey was far from over. Emissaries from Vera's people were still searching for them. The alien warlords would not rest, and the mysteries of the galaxy awaited discovery. Yet Ethan no longer feared the unknown. With Vera at his side, he was ready to face whatever came next, immortal, powerful, and determined to prove that humanity, even in the face of overwhelming odds, could rise above all expectations. As they walked toward the horizon, the sun casting long shadows over the canyon, Ethan felt a profound sense of purpose. The blood had changed him, but it had not taken away his humanity. Instead, it had amplified it, showing him what humans could achieve when courage, compassion, and determination guided their actions. And beside him, Vera moved with silent grace, her presence a reminder that trust, loyalty, and understanding could create bonds stronger than fear, stronger than law, and stronger than death itself. Together, they would carve a path through the stars, a human and a vampire alien, bound by blood, friendship, and a shared vision of what was possible. The galaxy awaited, full of challenges and opportunities, and Ethan, the human soldier who had faced death and lived, was ready to meet it all.